On the 7th year, you will not plant anything. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Everybody look at me. What kind of joke is that? Wait. So we won't plant at all. Question, what will you eat in the 8th year? He said you should trust him. So you don't plant in the 7th year at all. By the 8th year, you're meant to eat. You plant in the 8th year. Then, in the 9th year, you now eat. So the last time you planted was the 6th year. Then the next time you expect the harvest. You got a harvest in the 7th year, but you don't. It's 1 year now, you don't plant. So it's 1 year, you don't expect harvest. So that's 7 years, the Sabbath. He said you should leave the land, the rest. And you're like, bring fertilizer, NPK. Don't give fertilizer. Rejuvenate this land. Thank God for modern science. And God is watching. And one day the whole earth is going to. The Bible says you vomit the inhabitants. This is how God runs the world. It always involves trusting him. Any version of life, let me teach you how to recognize Babylon. Any version of life that does not involve doing crazy things once in a while, that if God does not help you, you're dead, is not God. God has always operated like that. That is why, again, preachers never, when they used to talk about tithe, but they never talked about the chapters. That's why everybody ran to Malachi. That's why nobody talks about Deuteronomy 12, Deuteronomy 14, Deuteronomy 26, except me. There must be others. Just haven't heard them yet. Where it says, take the tithe. That's 1/10 of everything you got. Bring it. Have a holiday, including all your workers. Then he said, eat. Now he said, give, share. He said, give to the orphans, widows, Levites, the men of God, give. Then he said, the rest, chopulate it. Now, this tithe is the tithe you share in chopping. This is not the tithe you hand over all. So there was this tithe of, it's not totally clear sometimes, but the 3rd year at the very least, there was a tithe that was brought. He said, you should eat it. Do you understand what it means to eat 1/10 of all your harvest in a short period? You know that goes against the principle of saving. You should spread out. This one, he commanded they should finish it. Not like a command. He wasn't playing. He didn't give them the choice. This is an act of faith. If you followed me on Red Church Road, you would have seen it. He ordered them. Said, don't save that. Don't remain that thing. I give you 7 days or however long. The Bible doesn't tell us how long. But it says in the presence of the Lord. So the extra, you call people, say, take. This is money you could have saved. You see this kind of faith. This is not the faith of giving up something. This is the faith of gorging yourself, wasting. It seems like waste. I would have kept. It's the same faith involved in the alabaster box. Are you understanding? Like, no, now this would have been spread out over. It's that kind of faith. Are you understanding? So in Sabbath, you don't plant at all. In tithing, you bring out. It goes against nature. Wait, you mean I have 100,000? I should take. No, I had 10,000. I should take 1,000. I had 100,000. I should take out 10,000 and eat in one. Read Deuteronomy chapter 12, read chapter 14, and read leave 26. That's about first fruit and offering. Just understand that there's a God who is interested in pushing you to test the boundary. It's not about the why. It is that he commanded you to do it. When you do it, what does he do? According to 1 Peter, we saw it. You obey to the purifying of your soul. Do you remember when he said you should obey to the purifying of your soul?
Yes, sir.
How do you do it? He said, purify your soul by obedience to the truth. This is the same principle he had with his nation, Israel, that he has with his spiritual Israel now. With God, it's not about what you did and the technology behind it, the obedience. When you obey God, it purifies your soul. When you take out of that thing you have and God says, give away that, you're like, but if you want to start it, but this times this, this. So God purifies you by having moments in your life where he goes against all sense. Am I explaining? I didn't have time to explain this in Red Church. When I showed you that tithing is an act of faith, it doesn't make sense. Like Sabbath is an act of faith. So I should stop my business. I should shut down. I shouldn't sell. I've told you about Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is a business owned by a Christian. He's a billionaire, David Green. Didn't go beyond secondary school. A billionaire in US dollars, and all that. The day they have the most business, every business sells the most is Sunday. That's the shopping day for most families in the US. That's the one day he does not open at all. He shuts down. The day they will have made the greatest sale, he shuts down. He tells his families, go home. Go and be with your family. Don't sell anymore. It's an act of faith to have a business that trusts that God can. And he did this many years ago and has gone on to become God has chosen him to be a giver. He calls the business. He says it's God's business. So I heard that there are things you have. Some of this online, these software Bibles you have, that there are people behind some court cases where Christians won something. Someone took it to Supreme Court. It was not you. Some won it in appeal court and took it to Supreme Court. So Supreme Court will rule that you don't force. And there are people who can bankroll that scam. There are people bankrolling things. You have no clue. God will always demand that you walk by faith. He will always tell you to do things that are not somewhere. That is, you may live normally. 1 year, 2 years, just like normal human being. Then he'll show up. I say, I can know if we have been interacting with God.